Hello, my name is Timothytrespas, and I am freezing cold aboard a boat on the water. A boat I call Salvation. Now, it is, let me see, it is 9:25 p.m. on Saturday, and my indoor thermometer is reading 39.7 degrees, and my outdoor thermometer is reading 33.1 degrees, and the little light is flashing telling me that it went below freezing. So, I am really, really cold. And what do I have to keep warm? Well, I had to go out and buy another tank of propane. It cost me $8 in this neighborhood. I had to actually go to another neighborhood for my Mr. Buddy heater right here. I love this little Mr. Buddy heater. Oh, but you push the button and then turn it on high and it lights. Give it a minute to do its thing. And the fire eventually will turn the things red. This ceramic whatever there. And there you go. It's getting red. Then you put it on low. Burp. And there we go. Okay. Now, a can of propane, a 1 pound tank of propane. They only sell you 14 ounces in a 1 pound tank of propane these days. And I just paid the man the $9. I was like, thank you. I had to walk about a half a mile. Okay. The metal plate that I use on the stove, I got this metal plate here. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. It was once a big metal drill bit to make holes in the street or something, and I just spent like an hour sanding and scraping as much of the paint and whatever this coating was off to get to the metal. And I don't think I finished it, but what I've been doing is just putting a pan of water on there with some water and letting it, run on really low butane. A can of butane, 4 cans of butane, 8-ounce cans cost anywhere from $5 to $7, and 1 can, a normal cooking, heating coffee and oatmeal and let it run a little bit, lasts like 1 to 3 days. If I run it to heat, it lasts, a day or two, maybe, depending on how. Now that I have this metal thing on there, my flashlight is doing wonky stuff. Now that I have this metal plate on this little stove, it heats up really nice, and you can actually turn the thing off after it gets nice and toasty, and it'll stay warm for a little longer. I don't have anything like that on the Mr. Buddy heater yet. What I did before is I had some big metal rebars that I stuffed through the thing, but that was kind of dangerous because they kept falling off when they got all hot, so I took them off, and I'm not doing that now. Alright, I got the Mr. Buddy running. So all night in the freezing cold, what have I been doing? Let's see if you can see this on the camera. It's really hard to see what I'm saying. Oh, hey, look! There's a big circular thing, and inside there's some coals in there, and it's got a little chimney. It's a big round metal thing, and I got this metal top thing that I was trying to, eventually I'm gonna make some kind of door that, whatever, I don't know, drill some more holes in this thing. And the chimney part is just a temporary thing. I got a big long piece, I got a longer piece up on the shore, about 7-8 feet, and I'll figure out how to stick it all in there. Now the biggest problem with this thing, besides the wonkiness of the whole thing, I screwed it to this pole, whatever that is, the aluminum plate, and I was gonna cut that down and somehow install it somewhere. I don't know, I was thinking maybe there in that little space going up, and I have to put tiles or metal and then tiles around or something, I don't know, put the chimney going up. but if I put it too far forward, the chimney will get in the way of the Genoa sail. And if I put it too far back, I don't know. I gotta figure out where to put it. Because the chimney going up and having enough space around it so I don't burn myself down. This thing had a big rubber piece inside. I didn't realize that. And unfortunately, the rubber piece is like sealed into the part of that rim of the, I don't know if you can see that the rim of this thing, that there's rubber under there. And I cut out all the rubber I could except for that part. So what I gotta do is either take it on the shore and somehow fire it up with some dry wood and some gasoline or something. These charcoal briquettes, they suck. They didn't work. And it's just too cold to be looking for pieces of wood right now and stuffing it in there. There's my dead tank of propane. Anyway, hopefully that will just sit there tonight and no fire boats will knock it all over. If the fire went out, yeah, the briquettes are out, everything's out. So it'll just fall on the ground. Oh, actually it's still lit, so. But anyway, that was what I did today. My power is down to 12.2. 12.2, 12.34. What I did is I disconnected the alternator from the engine and I connected all 3 batteries, 2 deep cycles and the marine starting battery, so that tomorrow morning when the sun comes up, hopefully, God willing, the solar charger thingy will charge all 3 batteries, and then I'll disconnect it when I'm going to use the motor. I gotta put a switch or something. I'll figure it out. Right now I'm charging the battery for my drill over there, and I got this inverter thing here right now. I should probably turn it off because it's nighttime and it's just using up the power. In fact, that's probably a good idea. I'm going to turn this off now. And finish charging the battery tomorrow. Alright, let's see. How can I do this? Whoa! There, we're looking at the doorway to the boat. And I got this great big piece of heavy duty half-inch or whatever it is, or I don't know, it weighs about 15 to 20 pounds. This slides in there, and this little piece of rubber foam insulation thing I stuff in there, and I close that hole. And then, just because I really like the way it looks, I got this, whoa, I got this beautiful, where are we? I can't tell where we are. There we are. I got this beautiful, whoa, stained glass. Isn't that nice, man? Stained glass is just so cool. Got this nice stained glass thing that I stick in here. Whoops. It had the thing. I broke the plate of glass that was on one side. There's one on the other. And then I got this other piece of, oh, what a mess. My saw blade. Dust everywhere from all the work I was doing. Then I got this nice other piece of plastic that, went for the other boat. And this one fits here for now because I haven't got the other big piece and fixed it. This is not going to work for the rain because it's on the outside of the door thing, but hey, for now it will keep the warmth in pretty much. And I stuffed some plastic between there, and I got some more of these little foam, whatever these things are. These are foam, you know, like insulation things, and I stuffed those into the cracks so that, yeah, up in the cracks there. Oh. Now, this thing will never be so airtight that whatever, but when you do it right and you put this plastic piece, I don't know, whatever, when you put the plastic piece on the outside of the window, you get, the rain doesn't come in. And so it's really cool. You can like sit here and look out. You can't see anything now because, but you know, look out of the window, and when the sun comes through, I get the stained glass. And I gotta put another plate of glass in there. I probably never will. Anyway, the stove thing, I really wish that I could just spend $120 and buy the little HQ issue mini wood stove, because I'm really not so good at building stuff, you know. Like, I know how and what, and I watched all these videos, but I don't have the tools to make it look nice. And you know, I'm just a little concerned that something I'm going to build is going to contain, you know, multiple 100 degrees at 451 Fahrenheit burning paper and wood and whatever else. I know that oil burns even hotter, so I'm going to have to play with that. I had some silly notion that, yes, I'll get up early and I'll go get some supplies, because you know, I'm constantly praying to God, please Lord, can you give me this, and can you get me that thing I need, and help me find a metal, whatever, and some wood, and it's amazing. Frequently I find what I need. Man, I look like crap in this light. So let's check the temperature again. I got the heater on now. 14 ounces of propane in a Mr. Buddy heater on low. Supposed to run 4 to 5 hours. Now, $8 for 4 or 5 hours of heat is really expensive and not affordable. I can't possibly do that every day. I can't even, you know. So, but tonight I just couldn't freeze to death. So I had to. You know, I had this notion like, yes, I'll finish this thing and somehow, but no, it's gonna take me a couple of days. Even if I bought the one that they sell, which is kind of cool, it comes with a chimney, you know, 7 feet, whatever. I'd still have to get all the things to install, the tiles and the metal, and I already got some of the high temperature cement that you use to flash the hole you make for the chimney. It has a double wall, you know, the chimney goes through, it has another metal wall you got to put, and the cap around it, and put this high temperature stuff in there and cement it in to the hole you make and all that stuff. So the fireplace has to be installed and, you know, screwed into a big metal thing that is then screwed into something else, so it cannot you know, when the boat gets bashed around in the storm or the waves or the fireboat comes or whatever, I do not want flaming briquettes to, you know what I mean? It's like, it must be foolproof. This is the thing I've learned about boats, is the ocean and the water and the wind and the waves are incredibly powerful. You know, they may look beautiful and it may be wonderful, recreational, whatever, but, you know, when this water does its thing, it's not playing around. And that's why Noah built that boat that the Lord told him to build, however he told him to build it out of whatever, to withstand the... So I think about that a lot. Yeah, so everything on a boat has to be A, waterproof, B, corrosion proof, C, screwed down so tight, and then, you know, bedded. All the screws have to be bedded so nothing, water leaks through where you put screws through the hull on the deck or whatever. And anyway, I got these little lights by the kitchen. I gotta turn those off now because those are running on AA batteries, and I'm going to turn off the stove for now. This thing's nice and hot. And the water, I leave a pan of water to steam because it warms up the place a little. Now let's see what we got. Oh, a sultry 45 degrees inside and a freezing 32.9. When I went out to go check on the other boat, the foam. I took all the foam and I made this big thing and I wrapped it up and I tied it. I don't even know how I tied it on, but the fireboat thing bashed that boat around so much that the thing that I had made that had lasted 3 months finally fell off, and it didn't fall completely off, but it did fall into the water, and now it's soaked up all this water because it's foam. Oh, what a nightmare. So I dragged it back up and wrapped it around the pole, and it's only temporary because it's going to break that pole off if any more bashing goes. So tomorrow, if and when I wake up, I'm in so much pain in my shoulder, and I don't know what happened when I got sick, but I'm in more pain than somebody who's done the things that I've done should be in, and it's been this way for a while now. It's weird when I'm away. Petra calls me and, oh, I love you, I miss you so much, crying, and when are you gonna come home? I can't live on that boat, it's too cold, and I'll die there, and I'm like, okay, maybe you're right, I don't know, gotta get a stove, I'm just, doing the best I can, man. She wants to try to go to the court and see if they'll let us stay any longer. I don't think they're gonna give us much time, if any. But if they do, I'm like, oh my God, this light is really showing off my best features. Yeah. Whoa. I go through the steps of the light. It's kind of cool. I have this solar light here. It has solar panels on one side and floats in the water, and it has all these colors. And it's actually the one solar light I've seen that you can charge up and it lasts almost all night. I try not to leave it on all night. I try to sit here in the dark a lot and just sort of, because there's lights out there, but just not very bright. And one of the things that happens when you live in a camper or in a car or in a solar, whatever, batteries and solar panels and no generator, it's still at the house. All that stuff, you become highly energy conscious. And, every milliamp, you're counting and figuring out how much do I have and how much do I need and how long will it last and when can I recharge it. Earlier today, when the sun was out, the charging went up to 14.2 or something. I got the solar charger set to keep charging until about 15 volts. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I figure if a car battery is properly charged, you can get about 15 volts out of it, even though it's a 12-volt battery and whatever. This seems to be a very long video, so I'm going to stop talking, and thank you all for watching, caring, praying, and everything else. And keep warm. God bless you all.